Hello everybody and welcome to GLHF episode number 52, where we're going to go over some of the stuff that was added in patch 1.7 in Star Wars. So I'm here on my sweet looking mount. I remember talking about this mount last time we did one of these, but it's pretty dang sweet. I actually ended up only having to spend like 500k on it, which is really good, because as you may be aware or may not be aware, I only buy things from the Cartel market with actual credits in the game, unless the Cartel funds or Cartel coins were gifted to me because of the monthly subscription costs. So you get 500 every month when you subscribe. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about 1.7 and what was added. Now, I've got a lot of footage that I've taken of the stuff that I've done this far in 1.7, and I'm debating whether or not I should actually put that into like a video or anything. I'm debating whether or not to do a couple guides. Some of them just wouldn't make any sense to do a guide because it's so stupidly easy to begin with. So it's one of those situations. It's kind of a give and take. Like, what do I actually want to do? However, that being said, there is quite a few stuff added. So the primary thing added in 1.7, just so you guys are aware, hopefully you are, if you're a player of Star Wars. If you're not, then that's fine. You know, at least now you're aware of what was added, in case you're even just having a passing interest in the game. So you have the reputation system. I'm not quite too happy about this. I'll tell you why in a second. But basically, they added reputation for four reputations. It's different on the Republic. So for the Empire, it is the Imperial Guard on Belsavis, the Gree Enclave, the Imperial First Mobile Fleet, and okay, so they added 3 reputations to the game. That clearly, if they added a 4th, it would not be as dumb as that. Many of you know how much I hate them, so I'm just going to skip over the Voss in general. But on the Republic side, you have like the Republic Guard on Belsavis and like the Republic Fleet, and for the most part, it's pretty easy to get reputation. Now, here's my thing. I'll go into the reputation thing in a second here, but I really don't like reputation grinds. So from the get-go here in about 1.7, adding reputation to the game just kind of killed it for me. So I wasn't excited about this patch at all. Zero excitement. Probably negative excitement. Like, I would wish they didn't put this in the game and they developed something different. Because honestly, and this is just me, this is my personal opinion, I hate reputation grinds. It's not my thing. Really hate them, in fact. And it's one of those things where I hated them in WoW, I hate them in every single game that has it. However, you can say like, okay, well the affection gain, like if I open this up, like the affection gain for each of my companions, that is, a reputation grind in itself. And yes and no. I mean, on one hand, you're making your bar go up to arbitrary numbers to reach the maximum of their affection, so you can get rewards at the end. In some cases, that's, story stuff. In other cases, it's just being able to, get to know your companions a bit better. But it is a little different than your reputation grind, rather. Because with an affection grind with your companions, it's not really a grind at all. I mean, you gain affection by doing any kind of conversation in the game, or you lose it based on, what choices you're making. So you kind of, it's a little bit more eloquent in the way that the affection is done. And I think they could have done that with the reputation. It is better than a normal reputation system, and it's, I guess it's okay with the rewards and everything, but to me, I hate reputation grinds. It's just the notion of it is really retarded. So what you have here is you have a tiered system, just like you do in every other reputation grind that you've ever seen in any MMO ever. So it starts off with, let me go to the Voss because it's one I haven't done. It starts off with you trying to get Outsider, and Outsider is like the bottom rank, and then Legend is the top rank, right? So Outsider is what you start off on. It only requires 2,500 reputation to get all the way through Outsider, and then you start working on Newcomer. Now here's the thing, you're not an Outsider until this bar is full. Until this bar goes all the way up, you're not an Outsider, right? So once you get to Newcomer, it's the same deal. You have to fill that bar up to actually get to Newcomer. So as you see here, I have filled the bar up for Newcomer on the Gree and I am working on the bar for friend. Once this bar fills up, I will get friend, and then it'll move up to getting hero. That's the way the reputation system works. So you get reputation by doing certain quests on different things. So for the GLHF, it's part of this event. It's a 2-week event. It'll happen several times that we know of throughout the year. But at the moment, it's only 2 weeks limited for this, this event in particular. There's a few daily quests to do. There's a handful of them, and then you get, you get these items at the end. Let me show you what they are, so that way you're not all confused. You get these things, right? So there we go. It's for the GRE, it's this data cores. This is a blue version. They have a green quality one and an epic quality one. The blue one gives like 612 rep, I think is what it is. Oh gosh, I'm probably wrong on that. The green one, the lower quality, is like 217 or 290 maybe. And then the epic quality one, I know for a fact, is 1440. So you get 1440 for turning in or for using an epic one. Now, as you can see, I can't use this because it says I'm already weekly capped. So that's the other thing to look at here. Each reputation has a weekly cap. It is 1200, or 12,000 rather. So 12,000 is the weekly cap. Now, as a pro tip, here's what you can do. So you can easily reach the weekly cap. It's been a couple days, and I had the weekly cap done on the first day for the GRE, and that is simply because I have so many level 50s. I have 7 level 50s, almost have my 8th, and I was able to do it on 3 characters and just get get all the reps that I needed for this one thing. So I just blew through all the quests. I did the world boss. I got the epic rep thing, to the token to turn in, and got the 1440 for that, so that helped out quite a bit. But once you reach the weekly cap, you can't get any more. So here's the pro tip. What you can do is you can get as close to that weekly cap as possible. So if you can get within 50, that would be perfect. You can mathematically get that if you time it out properly with getting different rewards. That may require you holding on to some of these, but if you can get within like a certain number and then get one of those epic ones, then what you do is you use that epic reputation token, and it gives you all 1440 of it. It pushes you over the weekly cap. So the weekly cap is 12,000, and I've gotten more than that. So I'm higher than most people because I did just that. I waited till I got to the very end of my weekly cap, and then I used the epic token, and that gave me quite a bit more. So now I'm head started for next week, so I can get that even quicker rather. And I'll hopefully get hero, which is the thing up from friend. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. We'll see how that goes. Now, the other thing is because that's how the GLHF works, right? So you do those event quests for the next 2 weeks, and I would suggest doing them, and we'll talk about that in a second. The second thing is for the Imperial Guard on Belsavis, or the Republic Guard, or whatever it is. It's just the Section X dailies. Really easy. Same idea. You get the tokens after you complete the quest. You turn in the tokens. Bada bing, bada boom. You've got more reputation. For the mobile fleet, this is actually doing the heroic space missions, only the heroic space missions, and those are a pain in the butt. You need, look at this. Look, I'm being honest with you here. I have grade 7 everything. These are all grade 7. I got them the day the grade 7 was available, and I still can't do those stupid heroic missions. I probably just suck at it, so I'm not even going to bother at this moment. And then the Voss are some heroic missions on Voss. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's very easy once you figure out where all these are. So doing a guide like, well, you got to do the heroic missions for this. Here you go. It's not a very good guide, is it? So it's kind of one of those things I'm debating on how to do a video of, and I'll get to that, I'm sure, later this weekend, because I have all the footage anyway, so I'll just splice it together and do the editing. Now, another thing to note is once you are a subscriber, you get plus 50% bonus points, so it's quite nice to get to that weekly cap. I'm pretty sure subscribers, free-to-play and preferred, all have the weekly cap the same, but based on how quickly you can get there is a different note entirely. Now, obviously, if you're doing all the dailies on all 8 of your level 50s every day for a week, you're going to get there no matter what status you are. So it's one of those convenience things. Like, if you just want to pound them out in a day, or you only want to spend an hour doing dailies a day, rather than, all day with all 8 characters. It's kind of that kind of thing. So they added this reputation system. It's saved across your legacy, and let me repeat that again because nobody seems to understand that. It's saved across your legacy. When I log on to my Inquisitor, this is all the same. I have newcomer status on this. It's all the same. It makes it a lot nicer of a reputation grind. I like that. Now all they need to do is make my mounts and my pets save across the legacy as well. So with these, you can see that you get these title unlocks, and you're like, oh, cool, Research Assistant, Honored Voss Friend. Who would ever freaking wear that? That is the worst thing ever. That's like claiming yourself a Nazi. The Voss are Nazis. I'm telling you right now. It's not. I hate the Voss so much. That's just one of the things that I think that's what me hate. Let me back that up. I think that's what made me hate the reputation grind to begin with. Was the Voss were there, and I hate the Voss, and I don't want to have to grind that out. My hatred knows no bounds. Now the thing is, those titles aren't character titles. Like mine is Zenkiki, the blockade runner, what I'm using right now. I have quite a few that I can actually choose from, but as you see here, they're not actually there. That's because, Drew Cunner, I think I just got that recently because I finally killed Dreadtooth. Anyways, that's because these are your normal titles. Now you have legacy titles now. So Research Assistant, boom. And it pops up under my character instead of my legacy name. Why would I not use my legacy name? I don't know. I love my legacy, and I'm really proud of it, so I'll probably just keep using that. But if they ever come up with really cool ones, then yeah, you could do that. So that you get that as a title, or as a legacy title, as a reward for getting certain parts of the reputation stuff here. So if I got to Legend, I'd be Perfect Gold Bisector, which is, that's not too exciting. Or the Section Guardian, that's okay. Hero of Section X, I think that's even better than the Section Guardian. The Chosen of Voss, rather. It's just terrible. Hyperspace Legend, that one's really cool. Hero of Deep Space, I like that one, so maybe I will end up doing those just for that. The other rewards you get for this reputation system, because it was pretty well fleshed out, I give them credit for it. I hate reputation systems, but this one is very well done. So no matter how much I hate it, it is still a very good reputation system. You can go to these different places, so like the Gree area on Ilum, or the Imperial area, so Section X, and there's reputation vendors there, and they each have like sets of gear that you can use. The Gree one is really cool. It's like Tron gear. It's remodeled versions of some of the cunning gear on the Imperial side, but it's got like cool like glowy lines on it, so it makes you look like a Tron character. But the most important part of all of this being added, right? That it's not that there's now a system for you to grind reputation, because nobody cares about that, let's be honest. It's that they finally added legacy lightsabers. That is the best thing ever. You know why? Because now you can transfer your hilts from one character to another that are already bound to you. So say I get my Dreadguard. I mean, you see, let's say I had a Dreadguard lightsaber instead of a blaster pistol. I could take out the hilt. I could take that, put it in the legacy weapon, right? And then I take that, move that over to a character that can reverse engineer it, and suddenly I can make, or hopefully, once it learns it, I can make that hilt, which allows me to make them for my own characters, make them for other people in the guild. Most importantly, make them to sell them, because it's the easiest way to make money, is selling mods and hilts and barrels and armorings and stuff like that. So they've had legacy like blasters and stuff, and previous with the bowcasters, and a ton of people got those. I got quite a few of them because I think they're really sweet looking. Now they've never had a legacy lightsaber, so now you have one, so now you can easily move things around that way, just in case you, I guess, wanted to learn it or have a really cool looking lightsaber. Because on the actual blades of the lightsabers, I would show you it, but it's over on Ilum, and I'm sure I'll show you that if I do the guide for that stuff anyways. It's just got a cool spell effect. You can look it up. But I think other than that, most that was pretty much all of 1.7. They added a few things here and there. They added some cartel markets. They bug fixed. They balanced stuff out a little better. I mean, the game's already pretty balanced to begin with, but they helped with fixing some of the stuff, and a lot of bug fixes, actually, from what I could tell. Now, the other part that made this patch kind of a sour note from the get-go to me was the fact that it wasn't on the PTS at all. So they didn't test anything. So there were some major bugs. Like, for example, in the Ilum area for the daily quests to get the Grease stuff, at the current time of speaking, the servers are about to go down and get patched, so hopefully they're going to fix this. At the current time of speaking, if you try to quick travel, it won't take you anywhere. It'll put it on cooldown, it'll act like it's quick traveling, and then it'll put you right back to where you were. So that's no fun. Also, the PvP quests that were added with the Gree Enclave stuff, there's 2 of them. I thought it was going to be all of them were PvP quests, but no, there's only 2, so that's not as bad, and you can completely skip over them if you hate them. Just do the quests on your other characters. The other thing, actually, that I forgot to mention about the Gree Enclave, now that I think back about it, is as you kind of level up your reputation with them, you get more quests unlocked, so it's kind of reminiscent of some WoW reputation grinds as well. Except it's really cool because if you get the newcomer status, you can get this little unlock thing which allows you to go into the spaceship itself, and while you're there, because the Gree have a spaceship landed there, while you're there, there's a raid boss in there that is within its own instance, so you're not competing with other people. It's on your typical raid cooldown timers. You can do it on story mode or hard mode, which is pretty sweet. I got to do it. It was really easy, but it drops some more of these, and this is what you need in order to get those lightsabers or blasters or whatever legacy weapon you want from the Gree. I'm just saying the lightsabers are the most useful. Now, where's the other thing? Actually, I think it's under my pets. So, the other thing I got from the Gree by getting up to newcomer was, I don't know where it's at. There it is, the Gree data core. Let me pull this onto my bar since I have an empty space anyways. So it's just like the little spaceships that you can get now. It's just like my own little companion cube that floats around and follows me, which is really great. And you can have it out with another pet as well. This pet is from the new market stuff, which transitions perfectly into the fact that they added the new Space Pirates Cartel pack. Really cool to have some more items. I really like it. This is apparently the last of the first set of packs that they've been doing. They added a couple other things like the Jawagrams for Valentine's Day. I'll show you one of those in a second here. And then they added a 24 pack, which is like $70. That is so expensive. Like, I don't know anybody that would ever buy that, but there are people that will, so it's not like I can complain. I buy them off the auction house anyway, so you know, the more the merrier, because then it brings down the price on the auction house. Am I right? It's easier to get a hold of at that point. So you have your new pack, which is the Space Pirates Cartel pack. Adds some new things, as you can tell. It adds customization for 2VR8 and C2N2 as a little tux. I actually have one already from one of the previous packs for 2VR8. Let's see what he looks like. Yeah, it just kind of like adds targets and stuff to him, which I think is funny because that is fairly accurate to the way I treat him. But what else did it add? It added this mount that you see here that you can't really see. There we go. It has a skull on it. It's one of these Baki mounts or whatever it's called. Some new armor pieces. And what was the other thing that was done? Any of these... Let me go back. I don't know if it's actually in this set. I guess... Was it the Outriders? No, I think it was one of the sets that you actually get from the packs. But they had changed the sets a couple patches ago, some of them, and made them look a lot better in my opinion, but some people raged out about it because they really liked the look of the previous one. So they gave us all those pieces back as like classic versions of them, and they're not bound, so we could sell them on the auction house if we really wanted to. This is what the Jawa thing looks like. Hey Mako, have flowers. So it comes down, the Jawa pops out, there he is. And he presents her with flowers. And that's it. And now he follows her around. Or he should follow her around. There we go. So now I have a posse. I have a companion cube. I have a Mako. Yes, a Mako. I have a Nexar cat and a Jawagram courier, which is hilarious to me. The other thing I was kind of frustrated about is this little pet the Deep Wriggler, which you get from doing Terror from Beyond on hard mode. They added different versions of it, which I thought was kind of cool to have as like a pet that you can only get from a raid instance, but now there are more. I have one in here somewhere. I'll probably scroll right by it and people will see it, and that is completely fine because I don't necessarily care. Let me go back up and see if I can see it one more time. No, that's the blurgs. Nope. I know I learned it. It's a Wriggler. It's in there somewhere, I'm sure. Someone already saw it. But they added one of those. I don't really agree with adding some of those pets to being able to buy rather than just having like a special pet. I mean, that would be like buying the tank that you get from EC Nightmare. There's a tank mount that is really sweet. Did I just see it? Wriggler, yes, the Stellar Wriggler. So it's just a recolored version of it. He actually looks like a shrimp. It's totally a beaver shrimp right there. Now, was there anything else that was added that I can actually think of off the top of my head? No, not at all. So 1.7 was actually a pretty limited patch. It did add a pretty big system that I don't care about. You know, some other people may, which is why I plan on doing some videos of it. We'll see how those turn out. I gotta find a way of doing it. But for the most part, it was a pretty bare bones patch. So you can tell that they're kind of in an overtime for Rise of the Hutt Cartel, which is great because I would love to see as much content come in that expansion as freaking possible, including Chapter 4. I want my Chapter 4. BioWare, I know you guys watch these. Give me my Chapter 4. I'm really tired of not having it. It's how I make my money off of these videos, is with the story stuff. I don't want to have to do another character. I want to do the Chapter 4s. With that rage out, actually, I think it's worth mentioning that the new series that I plan on doing for the Cartel Market, the Cartel Market Buyer's Guide is what I call it, will be happening. I'm just trying to gather all the new stuff from the Space Cartel pack, which is why I have the pets that I picked up, and a couple other things that I don't remember. I think there was a mount that I got. Oh yeah, let's see if I can find it. It's a remodel of the Stap, just so you guys can get a sneak preview of the Cartel Market Buyer's Guide. It's okay. I mean, I like the colors on it actually. It reminds me of the retro Portal logo, the Aperture Science logo, because it's got the same color scheme, but it's pretty cool. I'll stick with my, if I can actually get off this, I'll stick with my Pod Racer though, for the time being, until I get sick of it in a week, and then I'll find another mount. But I think on that note, we'll kind of wrap it up here. That hopefully gives you guys an overview of what actually happened with 1.7, my thoughts of it, what you can expect to see if you haven't even logged in yet, and also kind of where I'm going with the Cartel Market stuff. It's coming soon, I just don't know when soon is. One of those answers, I know, it sucks. But on that note, I am probably going to log out of Star Wars because I've been on it all freaking day for the past 2 days. I'll see you guys next time.